Russian icons. This is by Father Vladimir Ivanov. Now I'm going to go inside the book and show you the Transfiguration. Plate 18, the Transfiguration of the Lord. Let's zoom in. There's Christ in the center. Moses on the right with the tablet. Elijah on the left. Black men. When you pan down, you got Peter, James, and John sleeping. What color are they? They are black. All right. Now what I want to do, I want to go to plate 20. The holy apostles, Peter and Paul, with scenes from their lives. There's Peter and Paul right there. Black. Look at their skin. And it gets even darker when we go to the side and look at the travels of Paul and Peter, true apostles. I want you to see it. Let your kids see how black they are. We have nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of. We were warned to keep the commandments, not break them. We broke them, and we went into captivity. We were warned. Look at the black images. I want y'all to see the black paintings. Just take a look. Peter crucified upside down. And in the book of Acts, you read about Paul going to black nobility. A lot of times we just assume that they were Caucasians, but no, some of them were black. Governors and things of that nature. Do y'all see? The beheading. His head was cut off. There's the head. I believe this one was Paul. I could be wrong. Y'all put in the comment board if you remember. So what are we looking at? Peter and Paul. Let me make sure. The holy apostles, Peter and Paul, with scenes from their lives. So don't let your children be fooled. You don't be fooled. Peter and Paul were black. Christ was black. The apostles were all black. Nobody was Caucasian. There was no Israelite Caucasian running around. Crucifixion of the Lord. Crucifixion of the Lord. Plate 36. Plate 36. What color is the Lord? Black. Look at the black angels around him. Look at the white loincloth. Why am I pointing out the white loincloth? Because lying Christians say, oh, there was a fire, and that's why the skin is dark. So then why wasn't the loincloth burned? Why wasn't the background burned? Huh? You bunch of lying Christians, you. Look at one of the Roman guards, black. There's Mary, the women, crying at the cross. Black women who had sense, who loved the truth, who loved keeping the commandments, who loved the Lord. This is what the Lord is looking for today. What color is it? I'm going to ask again. What color is Christ here on the cross? Black. They don't push this in Sunday school. What color are the angels? Black. They don't show you this in Sunday school. These lying pagan Christians. What color is Mary and the other women with her? Black. They don't show this to keep us in the dark, to keep us subservient and docile to them, to white supremacy. That's what they do. This is what they show us. White people painting white images of themselves as the angels nowadays. This is what's going on.
The icons at the museum here, and the ones that we've been discussing so far, are very old, part of the ancient tradition of Russian iconography. Anyone who knows anything about icons will immediately recognize this image as the Trinity, or otherwise known as the Hospitality of Abraham of Andrei Rublev. This is not the original. The original is in Moscow in Russia, of course, but this is a wonderful replica that was commissioned by the museum to hang here in Clinton. What we're looking at is three angels who three strangers visited Abraham, and he showed them great hospitality, and they are seen as representing the three persons of the Trinity. And in this representation, we see Christ in the center. This band on his arm shows that he is a priest. And something to note, that even though faintly reproduced here, because this is as they appear in the original, which is in Moscow, we have the tree and the mountain bowing down to their creator. And this reflects the hierarchy. And also, if we look at the two figures, they're each looking at God the Father, because Andrei Rublev was a Russian, and we believe that the Spirit and the Son both proceed from the Father. Now, if I just show you another replica, we have here an icon, or a replica of an icon by another very famous iconographer. The Rublev dates from 1411, the original. This is by a Russian iconographer about 100 years later called Dionysius. And the thing to notice about this, and once again the original is in Moscow, is the stylization is very distinctive, and it's based upon line with very little modelling, and it's almost as if he's just coloured in an outline, and that's very distinctive of the style of Dionysius. This is Christ in Majesty, one of the traditional images in the iconographic tradition. This particular one was painted in the 16th century, and first of all, just look at the size of it. This will have been in a very large church, high up, and people will have seen this from a distance. And it must have been very striking in its original position. We have the four faces of the cherubim, which are described in the vision of Ezekiel. And we have an eagle, an angel, a bull or an ox, here's the bull and the ox, and here's a lion. And as we know, these have come to represent the four evangelists, and the reason historically that the church chose to have four gospels was that each one corresponded to the four evangelists carrying the word of God out to the four corners of the world. And of course that is our hope, to be in heaven with Christ and participating in the beatific vision. And so when we see Christ, we will know him, and everything is revealed, everything is sharply defined. Within the halo itself, what we see are the letters that are equivalent to, in whatever language is used, of I am who I am. In Greek it might be the letters, which I think this is, of he who is, which of course is the same as Yahweh. Always in the icon of Christ, the halo has the cross within it. So if you're ever uncertain as to who the figure is, you shouldn't be really, but if ever you are, and you see that cross in the halo, then you know that you're looking at the figure of Christ.